Hi, everybody. I am C. Basan. Let's talk about it today. Related to color, tea is very close to life. Tea comes from the East. There are many people who care about tea leaves. You can't live without it. Whether it's morning, I want to make a pot of tea. Tasting comfortably. The comfort brought by the aroma of tea. Start the day well. But what is the relationship between tea leaves and color? Brown. Look at the brown and smell the fragrance. There's a reason for that. Let's take a look at brown and tea leaves today. What does it have to do with taste? Okay, we're going to talk about fragrant brown today. Tawny fragrance. That sounds very pleasant. Chinese tea is mainly divided into 6 categories. Remember, there are only 6 categories in total, but there are so many different kinds of tea leaves. It is also difficult for us to remember the name of each type of tea. But we just have to remember the characteristics of these 6 categories. And the brown color characteristics of the tea leaves are enough. According to the processing technology and degree of fermentation of the tea leaves, divided into green tea, white tea, yellow tea, green tea, some people call oolong tea. There are also 6 categories of black tea and dark tea. Some classification systems also include reprocessed tea leaves. For example, everyone loves jasmine tea. We'll give you a formula. Make you a tea maker in an instant. You know the formula. It's hard for you to make your brewed tea taste bad. Okay, let's see what this formula is. 70 words is very simple. Now listen to this. Green tea and yellow tea are no more than 3. The first and second entrances are fresh. Black tea can be brewed 4 or 5 times. 2 courses and 3 courses taste wonderful. White tea at least 7 or 8 bubbles. Sweet from start to finish. Pour 10 bubbles are very stable. 3 bubbles are starting to enter the good state. Oolong 7 bubbles have lingering fragrance. Rock tea had bubble revival soon. Remember, that's it, Jane. 70 words of a simple order. Take China's 5,000-year-old tea road. 6 styles of tea. Tell you the most incisive. Every tea has its own advantages and disadvantages. The tenderness and freshness of green tea. Black tea's alcoholic and sweet black tea. We call it oolong tea fragrance and elegance. The thickness and weight of black tea. They are all the fruits of the miraculous creation of heaven and earth. So how to control the water temperature of the tea leaves? Just remember one temperature. It can be done at 80 degrees. Green tea can be used at 80 degrees. The darker the other tea leaves, the warmer the water. Here we are talking about tea leaves at the same time. All over the world. Because of tea leaves, and caused Chinese ceramics to go global. Because of tea leaves. The aristocracy in England formed a cultural circle of tea. Formed a cultural circle of ceramic tea utensils. Many people want to be with the nobles. Royal agreed lifestyle habits. By all means. To get Chinese tea, porcelain and black tea. And this tea comes from China. Far away on the Silk Road, China has a large number of tea exports. There are also many people for calling tea the Oriental tree of God. This is the impact of Chinese tea on the world. And there's more. From high to low, the freshest tea we can drink. You can also drink aged tea for a longer period of time the following year. There are even some tea leaves that cannot be drunk in full condition. We call it gameng. That is, the tea leaves, then the tea leaves. His whole tea was sold for a good price. And the rest of the crumbs form into tea leaves. And they sell it to people who want it, but who don't have it financially. There's another one too. We made tea bricks out of expired tea leaves. There is a sentence in the tea leaves. Good tea doesn't make bricks. But in order for us to take this sip, we must do everything we can to get the tea leaves. According to your own financial situation and the status of their living environment to balance, we can use whatever tea we can get our hands on. Therefore, tea has become very important to us. One in life, an indispensable environment and an attitude towards life. Far away in Xinjiang and Tibet, they call it milk tea with tea leaves. Horse milk tea. It is a feature of Chinese traditional medicine. Tea treats digestion. Therefore, when the tea leaves are mixed with the milk of the horse, a solution to these high fats and cholesterol, it plays a very important role and is also a solution in times of vegetable shortage. Therefore, horse milk tea has become a lot of us. The characteristics of a dependence on tea in ethnic minority areas. Okay, let's take a look now. The first type, green tea. What is the relationship between tea and tea syrup? Generally speaking, when we use teacup colors or white porcelain, and I'm going to tell you about that. In porcelain, a huge market in China. China has 4 major porcelain kilns. But we're talking about color here. It's about tea leaves, not about porcelain. If there is a chance, let me tell you more about Chinese porcelain, its civilization and history. Porcelain, we are talking about white. Only a white tea bowl can make its tea syrup. If you have other colors, such as wooden containers, some for example, clay and pottery, or use dark metal teacups, you can hardly see its clear tea syrup. So the color of the tea syrup. In the color world we use white porcelain cups. It's just a standard color white field. This is a color professional term. It's at this whiteness. You can see it accurately standard tea syrup color. And now we're talking about green tea. This is its green tea. Whether it is various tea festival nouns, we don't talk. But the emerging green tea leaves. The tea syrup brews. What is green tea? It's unfermented tea leaves. It's not fermented. It's not even semi-fermented. Unfermented tea leaves. It's only 5% fermented. That is, formed in the temperature of nature. Fermentation is achieved through the process of killing. Then fresh leaves and natural substances are preserved. It presents the characteristics of dry green tea, tea soup grain, and leaf bottom grain. It's rich in polyphenols and vitamin C. The taste is fresh and has the effect of clearing the fire, removing the fire, clearing the heat, and refreshing the brain. The method of making tea. The water temperature we use is 80 to 85 degrees. Remember not to use boiling water and warm cold water. Avoid the tender tea aroma that high temperature destroys the tea leaves. The color of the tea soup is clear and green, and the taste is very restrained. Strong aromas as fresh as bean and chestnut. This above is one of our colors for the tea soup. A physical calibration was performed. We used the coding of CDS color language. Perform color, specific positioning. This color is equivalent to the color of the tea soup after the bubbles are stabilized. Its color ID is its color genes. This is the color of the gene for its color. It reminds me of the roots of your teeth. The base of the tongue exudes a faint fragrance. We still use this method for white tea. This is white tea. This is white tea soup. White tea is slightly fermented. Our fermentation temperature is around 10%. After our adjustment, dry retains the white fluff. So-called fluff. It's the fluff on the surface of the tea leaves. Fresh hair new tea is cold in nature. It is a little cold. If you have a bad stomach, so you can drink this tea, well, it is appropriate to drink less. His old tea is warm. This shows that new tea and old tea have different antipyretic and antipyretic effects. It is known as 1 year of tea, 3 years of medicine, and 7 years of treasure. This is the understanding of white tea. So a lot of tea in China, endowed with a large number of medicinal effects and efficacy of traditional Chinese medicine. The temperature of the method of making tea is also between 8595. White tea such as this by hot silver tea. Use lower warm water. Old white tea can be drunk. The brown tea fragrance is yellow-green and clear, while old tea breaks orange and dark. The aftertaste is sweet. This is the color code for CDS. And that's what we call color. After the tea soup is stabilized, its color changes. If we often look at some colors, the color of the tea soup, you're basically in your nervous reflex system. You will form. This color is felt at the base of the tongue. For its sweetness and its characteristic tea aroma. Aftertaste and awakening. This is like the old Yixing teapot in China. Even without tea leaves, pour boiling water in, you will also smell the aroma of that fresh old tea. Okay, let's talk about the third yellow tea. Yellow tea is also known as light fermented tea. Its so-called light is at 0% minus 20% fermentation level, formed by a process we also call braised yellow. Yellow leaves and yellow soup, the fragrance of tea leaves, and the mellow red and green. This black tea is characterized by its mellowness. What is the digestion and digestion stagnation? Refreshing effect brewing method. 85 degrees to 90 degrees. Avoid high temperature. Because high temperatures can also cause bitterness, the color of the tea soup will also change. The characteristic of tea is golden and bright. Look at this nun called golden yellow bright. Then the taste is sweet and mellow. The fragrance of chestnut rice like junction silver needles. Another kind of tea is called reprocessed tea. Like the characteristics of jasmine tea, it is the embryo of green tea, and put up some jasmine flowers. Then form the reiki and fairy energy of flowers. Its brewing method is also 80 to 90. This is the best way. Soup will come out in 3 to 5 seconds. Shall I put these two yellow teas and reprocessed teas? Because its tea is the same temperature, the soup color is the same, I put it together. This is our yellow tea. This is our tea soup color. So this is the CDS color code. That is, the ID card of this tea soup color. We call it its genetic color. Okay, let's look at the fourth type of green tea. Green tea, we drink a lot of people in the southern region. Some people, strictly speaking, like to drink green tea. The taste is heavier, but large amounts of this green tea, we call it oolong tea. This semi-fermented tea is somewhere between green tea and dark tea. So it's relatively warm. So what are the characteristics of this tea? It's somewhere between green tea and black tea. And we call that a feature called greenery and red trim. Tea leaves are green leaves, but its red color has a red border. It features a pleasant aroma. What green tea do you have? Glycol, fresh strong, and black tea. What do you remember? It has the effect of lowering fat and losing weight. So these tea leaves, if for those who are obese or have high blood pressure, it can be consumed properly. This tea is called oolong tea or semi-fermented tea. It is helpful to you. But if your spleen and stomach are deficient, you may also need to reduce the amount you drink appropriately. Brewing method: water temperature 95 to 100 degrees. Then it needs high temperature. Because of the high temperature, it can give it the aroma of semi-fermented tea. So it's cold boiling water to stimulate high fragrance. The color of the tea soup is gold and orange. Light tea guanyi and orchid fragrance. The fragrance of flowers and fruits in a phoenix single bush. This is the color of the CDS. This is the coded ID. This is its color chain. We've been seeing this color for a long time. It creates a conditioned reflex in the brain. I see the color of this tea soup. It feels like something will gush out of the base of the tongue. That kind of greedy saliva. I just want to quickly smother while it's hot. Why is everyone drinking oolong tea? And this kind of tea guanyi? Use a very small cup. The small cup is because the temperature of the tea soup is very high. The color is very good, but it won't burn our mouth and esophagus. So it's a very small amount. Just enter your mouth. Its body temperature cools it down, but its full aroma of tea stays between the teeth. Okay, let's talk about the fifth black tea. It's what we call fully fermented tea. You all know that. Fully fermented tea is basically a process that has taken a long time. More than 80 to 100% fully fermented. The green natural tea leaves release polyphenols, antherabide, and flavin in their entirety. It turned into a red soup. Sexual warmth. Everyone remembers that he is sexual warmth. Warm stomach. It is also very good for children with stomach and asthma. What is suitable for preparing milk tea? You see this, the one I just told you about. Between semi-fermented tea and this black tea, it is more suitable for making milk tea. Some people with milk tea are different tastes and different habits. We'll hit the fermentation. to add to this flavor of his agriculture, to keep his stomach for the stomach. This function helps with digestion, bless. Therefore, such as milk tea, if tea, etc., it's all caused by black tea. Bubble method. We have 90% to 100 boiling. Because this tea is also required. Boiling water excites to come on. It is characterized by redness. Very bright red glycol. Such as Jingshan Shazhong, this rosin pine smoke type. This tea is of very high quality. But for now, in many large cities, they all like to drink this kind of pine-flavored tea leaves from Jingshan Shazhong. Similarly, we also put the color of CDS, coded soup color. The only soup color is marked for it. This is its soup color memory good. I really like the color of this tea. Okay, let's look at type 6. The last dark tea, post-fermented tea. What does post-fermented tea mean? Leave it for a period of time after the fermentation is completed. This is relatively long. I hope it plays out. Fully release its fermented multivitamins and enzymes. Post-fermented tea many of us know. For example, the well-known black tea from Pu'er and Huan, yes. Then this tea almost belongs to. We call it oil-scraped sausage tea leaves. So very thin people. People with spleen deficiency and stomach cold should not dare to drink too much. People who are stronger. People who need to lose weight can drink it. What to ferment after bibimbap? What are its characteristics? Is that it is in a. Strictly speaking, it is a stuck and closed state. And this is the process that produces agar wood. We all know that. There are many tea leaves transported in the ancient tea horse road. Basically, this kind of Pu'er tea easy to store for a long time. It belongs to pre-fermentation and post-fermentation. This tea is produced. Its tea is mild and aids digestion, because it is a large amount of a microbial enzyme called microbial enzyme fermentation. Quite a lot. It also lowers blood lipids. What is the purpose of lowering blood lipids? Mainly to lower blood pressure, only. Tea leaves that mainly lower blood pressure and blood pressure. The brewing method of Pu'er and Huan dark tea is 100% pure. What pure heat? I call it 100 degrees. But there's a process. As mentioned before, you may need all 1 to 6 tea leaves. There must be some process of washing tea. It is the temperature to which the first tea is brewed. First clean the surface dust and its dust. But for Pu'er, for this dark tea, it may need to be washed once or twice. In this case, it needs to be cleaned quickly. Let his tea leaves be fermented and pressed. Make fluffy. If you are drinking pure tea cakes, it may have to be soaked and flushed before taking. If it is used loosely, there is no cake. Fermented loose tea leaves will do. Just wash it once. And then his old one. After his 100 degrees, coarse and old raw materials can make tea. Then the tender tea is brewed. You see tender tea brewed in boiling water. This is one of its tawny characteristics. Its tea soup color is orange yellow and dark red. So orange is when he just started brewing. After a little time, it turns dark red in a short time. Red is alluring, clear and alluring. The characteristics and woody characteristics of pine smoke fragrance. This is the characteristic of what we call dark tea. Also, this is our CDS color pair. The coding system for the color of this colored soup. It can also be used as a standard for the color of tea soup. But this is among the standards for his brown color. we call it gold. If you are making tea leaves, among the real professional tea leaves, any tea, in the same absolute, at the same absolute temperature, in the state of porcelain of the same whiteness as determined, brew for the same time. The process is exactly the same. Conduct color identification of tea syrup. It can be made into the standard for the color of tea syrup. Talk about it here. We do color and color standards for food and tea, etc. I have our own unique approach. And the way of identification. If you hear friends who follow my channel, I like to do all kinds of food. Here's silver color standard words. You can leave me a message. Okay, so this is what we're talking about. The characteristics of these 6 categories of tea colors, and the brewing method of its tea. This is what I made a summary table. This watch is very meaningful. We just kind of look at it. The names of the 6 tea leaves, the degree of fermentation, the appearance of its tea leaves, the color of its tea syrup. Here it is, and there's another one, in the shape of a tea, and its CDS color coding system. I wrote it in the front. Sure, I put it up front. You've all seen it. And this is how we quantify the color of brown. You can see it very clearly. The color of each tea syrup and its original tea leaves and its fermentation, and its brewing forms an internal logical relationship. Okay, this is the tea fragrance I'm going to tell you about today. And again, we use the language of CDS color and the method of intelligent analysis. We did a simple analysis of the color. We extract these 6 colors in one. Create the code of this color. And this code, when you talked about it before me, already seeing 123,456, it's all in there. This is how it's accurately colored. So every color, our quantification is not an individual act. It's objective, in a way of measurement, implementation and determination. So the color is not made up. It comes from science. But I'll give you a color interpretation. You will find that these natural worlds are similar and different. Completely natural synthesis. You see the color of our tea syrup. The 6 types of tea leaves in our tea syrup, and the temperature and time of its infiltration, basically different. But we discovered a very important color pattern. It's lined up in a line. So how does that work? In color, it's called blackness equivalence. Show the natural law of color in all of our things. No matter what you are, as long as you conform to natural, in my color system, we'll get the same answer. What is this? This is the color of nature's creation. Okay, so we see the basic characteristics of color and the color coding system. The 6 brown colors we talked about above. The content of the 6 major brown Piaxian is finished. Your new color to see the world is coming soon. If you like my channel, please follow me, subscribe, like, share. Thank you very much.